Good morning, Kalites. It's your Jyoti teacher here with geography. Once again, the name of the chapter is Temperature, lesson number 5. So let's get started. Let's begin with the first activity given on the page number 23, 5.1, the perpendicular and the slanting areas occupied by the torchlight rays. After observing the figure A and B in your textbook page number 423, there are certain questions in your book. On which paper does the beam occupy larger areas? The beam occupies a large area on the paper that is held with such a way that makes the angle of 120 degree with the beam. On which paper is the area smaller? The area is smaller on the paper that is held in such a way that makes the angle of 90 degree perpendicular with the beam. The relation between the angle of the paper and the area occupied by the beam is that the area occupied by the beam is smaller on one. When the angle of a paper with the beam is of less degree, the area occupied by the beam is smaller. On the other hand, when the angle of the paper with the beam is of more degree, the area occupied by the beam is larger. So, with the help of this diagram, we will understand the distribution of sun rays on the earth. Let's relate this diagram to the shape of the earth. Sun rays coming towards the earth travel in straight lines. However, as the earth is spherical in shape, these are not perpendicular to all the parts of the earth's surface. In some parts, they are perpendicular, whereas in other parts, they are slanting. Can you observe that? Let's see the figure more nicely. With this, we understand that due to the spherical shape of the earth and the resultant curvature of the surface, the sun rays occupy a larger or lesser areas on the earth. This leads to unequal distribution of heat received from the sun. So, what do we understand? The perpendicular rays occupy less area on the earth, whereas the slant rays occupy larger areas. Got it? The part where the sun rays occupy lesser areas receive bright sunshine and greater heat. Hence, the surface there gets heated more and the air becomes hotter. The slant rays occupy a larger area. In this area, sunlight appears less bright and there is less heat. Hence, the surface there gets less heated and the air too is less hot. So, based on the distribution of the temperature, the earth can be divided into torrid, temperate and frigid zone or tropical, temperate and polar regions. Try to understand this from figures 2.4 and 5.3 in your textbook. So, the region that receives perpendicular sun rays is extremely hot and therefore it is called as torrid zone. Whereas the region above 23 degree 30 minutes north south receives moderate sun heat due to the slant sun rays and therefore it will be called as temperate zone. And the region towards the polar region, we see due to the curvature of the earth, the sun rays are very slant and therefore it receives very less heat and therefore it will be called as what? The polar zone, or you can even call it as frigid zone. So high temperature in the middle towards the equator, that is from 0 to 23 degree 30 minutes north south, torrid. 23 to 66 degree 30 minutes north south, temperate. And 66 degree 30 minutes north to 90 degree north pole, and 66 degree 30 minutes south to south pole, that is 90 degree south pole, will be called as frigid zone. I think this is quite clear to you all. You can refer this to the page number 24, and please draw the diagram in your classwork notebook so that you remember these zones properly, because the further study is going to be based on this. Now, this was about latitudinal distribution of the sun rays on the earth. Besides these, there are other factors also which influence the distribution of temperature on earth. What are they? Let's see. Nearness to the sea, continentality, physical setup, vegetation cover, urbanization, and industrialization. Now, let's understand the figure 5.4, the heating and the cooling of water, on page number 25. After conducting the activity do it yourself, we understand that land gets heated up quickly and cools also quickly. And secondly, the water gets heated up very slowly and also cools down very slowly. Due to this difference in the heating and cooling of the land and water, the air over the land gets heated faster and also becomes cooler rapidly. So, in the coastal areas, as compared to the continental areas, the temperature of the air is lower during the daytime but warmer at the night time. On the contrary to this, the temperature of the air in the continental areas is higher during the daytime and lower at night time. In the coastal areas, because of the heating of the seawater, the water vapor gets mixed in the air. This water vapor holds the heat in the air. As a result, the air in the coastal area remains moist and warm. Conditions in the continental areas are opposite. As the water vapor is absent, the air remains dry. This leads to sharp differences in the day and the night temperature. The differences in the maximum and minimum temperature of day is called as diurnal range of temperature. In short, the difference in the day and night temperature is less in the coastal areas and more in the continental areas. For example, Mumbai temperatures are even, but at Nagpur they vary. They are very hot. So today we learnt 4 points, and they are: unequal distribution of heat received from the sun, the factors influencing unequal distribution of the temperature, heating and cooling of the land and water, and the fourth one is the range of temperature. Now children, I shall be sending you a PDF with the exercise on the part that I have explained to you. The second part of the chapter will be given in the next week. So I hope you all understood the lesson thoroughly. Read the chapter thoroughly and understand all the points. That's all for now. I shall be sending the next part of this lesson in the next week. So take care and be happy. Thank you.